We are live.
We are live.
We are live.
Did I say welcome to the main event?
I'm not saying right now, but you mad.
Oh, man.
Behave before you talk about what I'm talking about, yeah?
If you want a proper review, we're going to go into one right now that we have watched. We've got our thoughts and feelings on this. And that is none other than Civil War. So this is a 2024 dystopian action film written and directed by Alex Garland. The film stars Kirsten, Dunst, Wagner, Moura, Cailee, Spaeny, Stephen, McKinley, Henderson, and Nick Offerman. Offerman.
Yep.
The plot follows a team of journalists who travel across the United States during a rapid escalating Second American Civil War, which has engulfed the entire nation. It sounds as mad as it is, to be honest. So this is set to be released on April 12th.
Oh, right the corner.
Right around the corner. It is done by A24 Productions. And yeah, what's the premise saying?
So the premise, in the near future, a team of journalists travels across the United States during a rapid escalating Second American Civil War that has engulfed the entire nation between the American government and the separatist Western forces of Texas and California, the Florida Alliance, and the New People's Army. The film documents the journalists struggling to survive during the time when the US government has become a dystopian dictatorship and partisan extremist militias regularly commit war crimes. Funny enough, this is in the premise, but we don't really get that in the movie, do we? We just get straight thrown into, boom, here's the situation, we're in the war, go.
Yeah, I did read it somewhere that Alex Garland wanted you to not be impartial to any side. So, like I said, we're thrown straight into the middle of what the government is trying to do and what these opposing sides are trying to do. And you're going with this journey with the journalists, which is Kirsten Dunst, Wagner, and Cailee, and how they're just trying to capture stories for the audience to know what's actually going on. So you're in the middle of a war field. You're just seeing A to B kind of fight. You're seeing stories from one side saying one thing, another side saying another thing, and obviously a third side that are just trying to save themselves from a collapsing country, which is it's kind of mad. And I think I've also read somewhere as well that the most opposite states in America, Texas and California, teaming up, you never ever would have thought, because one has one opposing side, the one has complete opposite.
Is this in real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost complete opinions to like Texas and California. The fact that they've teamed up to go against the government with their dictatorship. Like,
The government must be really on some crowd time for them to
that's what
team
everyone
up,
said. Yeah.
right?
Everyone said the same thing. Everyone was like, if these two are teaming up, that's how you know the government done messed up.
But you know what? Yeah, it's funny you're saying that the director didn't want you to be influenced, right? But I think we don't even get there because of the way we're just thrown in. So to me, I just got thrown in there and I have no feelings towards either or parties. Do you know what I'm saying? Simply because there isn't enough context. And I feel like it should have given us some information, some context to be like, okay, this is what's happening. And you give it neutrally. And then as you go through the journey of this journalist, then you get to pick sides. But I didn't get that. Do you know what I'm saying? So to me, I'm just rolling with this journalist who's just trying to capture these stories to inform the American population. And that's it. Like I have no bearings of like what side I'm, because that I never got that in the movie. Do you know what I'm saying?
I totally agree, because even if you're not telling a story from either side, you'd want us to have a bearing on at least one side so we can decide from there. So if you're not giving us a bearing on any side, we can't stand with
Yeah,
anything that's
you
happening.
can't. Yeah, there's no information. Like,
Yeah, so since the government's done something, we're like, okay, was it bad or good? Was dictatorship bad or good? We don't know.
we don't know.
The side that now joined forces, we're like, is that side bad or good? And then the journalists, being journalists, obviously they're gonna have propaganda or their views opposed on what's going on in any way. Their stories are never being brought across anyway, so we also don't know if we're like, the journalists are moving mad, or even side is moving mad. And then it comes to, there was another point I was like, that's what for me is like kind of missing. So that then removes people's motivations into what they really want to tell, and then people that they're meeting that we then get to decide on their stories, but it's only for the moment.
Exactly.
And I was like, that's what's kind of mad. It's like, oh, we meet these people and they're saying, oh yeah, we're just doing this because. And it's like, well, because it's now a cowboy state that you can do
like,
this?
is it? And you're so right on that, because that's what's missing from to me, like from everything I've loved in this movie, which I absolutely did. It's that, and it's not the fact that you had to make it something crazy, like a crazy story, you know, very in depth, you know, it's quite straightforward. But if you give us these little things, that makes it more human. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it allows us to attach to things, attach to ideologies, maybe even challenge ideologies. Maybe like if you thought of one thing one way, but now because you're in this certain situation, certain position, maybe it's not what you thought it was.
Exactly, yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not like we need to do like a crazy story. You just need to put these little seeds, and then as we go through this journey, and as the seeds grow, now we start to questions and, you know, whatnot. So the fact that my guy's saying, yo, I'm just doing this because, like, okay. Like,
I'm getting a bigger story right now.
It's like...
Well, are you a struggling journalist? Do you always get the big stories? Like, we don't know.
Do you want to be popular?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, their motive is just, oh, we just need to grab the bigger story.
Right, and even with the journalists, because obviously this is a race to get to A to Z, right? And this one thing I also felt there was a lacking from the journalist point of view is like, you see that whenever the journalists are talking to each other, it's like, okay, they're not trying to give too much information because they're competing. But why are you competing? Why are you willing to tell the story first? What's driving you? And we never get that.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's times where it's like, oh, we're too buddy. Okay, that's cool. You're colleagues. But whenever you're withholding information, you don't, you know, you're just withholding just to withhold information. That's it. We need more from that. You know what I'm saying? Because then I can also attach to what news anchor do I want to go with?
Exactly.
Like, you know, is it propaganda? Is it popularity? Are you getting the fact check at the back of this? Is this part of your as a journalist, like,
pushing an agenda?
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And who you want to be validated as in the journalist world? Do you want to be the biggest journalist ever during this Civil War? Like, that's a big thing for journalists. Journalism is all about like news and whoever covers it first. And if you're covering it first, are you covering it truthfully? Are you spinning it? Like, bro, like, and I feel like that's what kind of missed. But besides that, action-wise, cinematography was nuts for me. Like, I absolutely loved the way they captured this journey.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I like the most about the movie as well. Going from A to B, they captured emotions, feelings about being in the moment. Like, it makes you feel like if you was these journalists in the war, going from A to B, how dangerous it is, how you gotta move correct, or you're the one that's gonna get shot because it's so lawless out here. Some people are just on job trying to fight for their rights. Some people are just out here because there are no rights anymore. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want. And then these people are moving inside of that circle. So they knew how dangerous it was going from A all the way to the actual capital of DC, where the army's actually trying to get to the president, moving crazy. So for me, I was like, tension everywhere. Hey! Nah, I'm good, man.
No, the way the tension was captured in this movie, it was sick, bro. Like, they didn't hold back on that. Like, A21 production, I don't know but listen, you lot, because it's crazy. Like, literally, the some of the scenes that were chosen, the way they picked the angles, and it's like, I want to say it's like some of Call of Duty. I've touched on this before, but this is very DMZ-ish. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I would not be surprised if the director and the writers read pieces of DMZ and be like, I want this shot in this movie, because some of the shots were very, very similar. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially with the choppers, the way the choppers come and just finish everything is amazing, isn't it? So I recommend this movie. I really liked it. Who would you say, cast-wise, was the standout for you?
That was the tough part, because I was gonna say Cailee, maybe Cailee Spaeny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she, for me, went through like a range of emotions. It was quite quick. I think, I can't remember how many span of days they went to do from A to B, but she went from this journalist that didn't know tunes half, you know, like how she meant to like move, and was learning from one of the, let's say, the more senior journalists, going on probably her most dangerous journey possibly ever, to then coming out on, or like the way she comes out on the end. I was like, I personally was not expecting too much from her, to be honest. Especially, I would say, when you're with actors like Kirsten Dunst and other senior actors as well, she played her part pretty well. So I was like, for me, she's kind of like a standout.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely had the most growth in this movie. Her journey is sick, like you're saying, like, you know, the way she starts and the way she ends is super big. But you know what I liked with her journey, yeah, and I think that's what also allows her journey to peak as well, is Kirsten Dunst next to her, like her whole journey. So it's like passing on the torch. Do you know what I'm saying? So I would probably have to pick Kirsten Dunst as the next best thing, simply because like it adds to Cailee Spaeny's journey. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and I haven't seen Kirsten in a while, like in movies, but I did not expect her to be in this type of movie as well. She held her own. I liked her journey. Super legit. I also got to give out a shout out to Wagner Moura. I haven't seen you in a minute, but I did grow up watching this guy. He's a Brazilian actor. I grew up watching him. And seeing him, I was like, it's just one of those things that, you know, when you grow up with an actor or actresses and you see them in time. And then obviously I saw him like with Brazilian cinema, but seeing him in Hollywood, very, very good. And I liked his role as well.
I thought he was going to say Stephen McKinley, to be honest.
He's like an OG, bro. He's an OG, bro.
The better that they will do him and the other parts of the group for moving crazy. And again, like his part, pretty well played for what he had to do as well. So, yeah, like it's so mad because the cast is good.
It's good.
The situations are intense. And it's just unfortunate that it's just characters and story didn't really gel too close because of missing development of either side, to be honest.
Yeah,
I recommend it, to be honest, though.
Oh, absolutely, man.
I recommend go see this.
I think
it's not a bad movie.
I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 in Letterboxd.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Like I was mind blown by the shots. You know what I'm saying? And even though I am fully aware how basic the story is, like, which I don't mind, but if anyone comes to me and says, yo, I'll give this a 3.5, I won't fight that person because I understand there's so much lacking story-wise. But for me, the action is so up there that I was like, bro, like I thoroughly enjoyed just visually and their journey in it. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 in Letterboxd.
Actually, yeah, because I was going to say 3.5 as well, because I do enjoy the characters and especially the situations they're in, the situation America's in, and the journey going from A to B, pretty legit. Unfortunately, if there's such a journey, when I'm looking at something like The Last of Us, when I'm looking at other things that trying to do something very similar when you're going across country and there's a madness in the middle, like the what's the one? The Walking Dead. Even though I'm comparing it to zombie apocalypses, it is kind of got that dystopian kind of feel.
Yeah.
So traveling through a madness, your characters, not just one, but every single one of them, including the people you're meeting in between, you like to know like how and why. But we're only getting, in fact, we've got neither, to be honest. For me, we really got neither. So the scenes, everything is good, but like, I'd watch it again. I would watch it again, but it is falling flat on that aspect, unfortunately.
That's it. But guys, do let us know your thoughts on Civil War. Have you watched it? Are you going to watch it? Was you not looking to watch it after this review, you're going to? Just let us know. Your number one nerdy plug, innit?